David, what do you got?
Yeah, I'll just start.
Besides that.
I'll just start with this one here because he was just introduced in Denver. Sean Payton, the reports say he will have a salary of $18 million, somewhere around that range. But my question to you guys is, we always talk about the Russell Wilson portion of that
$18
duo.
million a year?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm like $18 million just per year.
No,
Wow.
per year. Yeah.
They'd rather pay him 18, give up a first and a second, than get Harbaugh for 5 and give up nothing.
He turned down the job twice.
If you believe that, I'd like to sell you a bridge in Brooklyn that I don't own.
Really? Is it cheap?
$1.
Well, you're leaning into the question I have because we do talk about the Russell Wilson part.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Sean Payton for a second because they gave up a lot. They're going to pay him a lot. We only seen him one season without Drew Brees. They went 9-8. Do we really know how good he is without Drew Brees?
No. And I'll be honest, if you did a comparative of his career record, it's the exact same as Mike McCarthy's.
Correct.
So, look, he had all those great Saints teams. Yes, he got screwed out of one Super Bowl against the Rams with that ridiculous no call. But I don't like the idea of giving up picks for a coach, and I sure as hell don't like Sean Payton with whatever that version of Russell Wilson is. So I get why they did it. But no, David, I don't know if he's quite as special. Where I thought Sean Payton belonged was L.A. with the Chargers. But that ownership group is too stupid to do it.
I mean, apparently Walmart is not going to run out of money because
$64 billion net worth of the Walton Penner ownership group in.
Well, I'm looking at what you're throwing away for Russell Wilson and Peyton. Wow. This better work or it's going to be a lot of unemployed people. You can't defend this if this fails. Look at the amount of money that's been spent on just these two.
Rico wins. That's the end of that.
Let's move over to Max Crosby because, of course, he spoke to the Las Vegas Review-Journal during Pro Bowl weekend. And he quoted by saying, I started training a little earlier this year. I have a lot of things I want to accomplish, a lot of things I'm trying to improve on. I'm trying to take a huge step forward next season. Now, he finished with his career-high 12.5 sacks this past season, 22 tackles for loss, and was just second behind Nick Bosa with 35 quarterback hits.
What do you want to know?
Can he jump to the Nick Bosa level? The 19, the 18 type sack year.
Why not?
I mean, yeah, and I think he's another one of those Brandon Jordan guys that come in the summer. Like, this dude's professional people actually take off. I mean, you saw what Rashawn Gary became.
If you're good enough to get 13 sacks and you're also good enough on a down-in, down-out basis to have 22, 23, 24 TFLs,
yeah,
you can absolutely
because some of those TFLs can turn into a sack.
And a lot of it's circumstantial, too. Not to, like, maybe you go in one game, you get to face a team's third-string left tackle. You rip them up for 3 sacks. You know, like, you need things. Yeah. You need some help along the way. Bosa didn't do it all by himself. They got a great defense where a lot of times, hey, maybe the rush pushed the quarterback right into him. There's circumstances that are required. But, yeah, David, if you get to that level, it's really not that far to that next one.
Yeah.
A lot of it's, I don't want to say luck, but it's circumstance.
No, it is. I think it's a circumstance. As you say, the play breaks down, the quarterback circles around, and there you are. You got him dead to rights.
So what I'll do here is I'll segue into this next question here because Lawrence Taylor was on the I Am Athlete podcast.
Uh-oh.
And this is a barbershop discussion. I just want to bring this into our football today. He gave his top 5 defensive players of all time.
Okay.
LT, of course, he named himself number 1.
Okay.
Reggie White,
Yeah.
Deacon Jones, Deion Sanders, Ronnie Lott. Now, people are going crazy saying Aaron Donald should be on this list.
Correct.
Would you replace, or who would you replace?
Deacon Jones.
Okay.
Deacon Jones played at a time where nothing translates. Deacon Jones' signature move was felonious assault and battery.
Right,
the head slap.
It's illegal.
Right, it's illegal now. They changed the rules, but
He was
because
punching and clubbing opponents and cracking their helmets.
because most of us have never seen him play. I would take him out. No disrespect,
It's just from a bygone era.
but right. It's why when people like Wilt and Bill Russell, I never seen him play.
Bob Pettit.
But I will say this:
You saw Russell play.
not it.
You went to his senior day at San Francisco.
I did. I had on my Don's jersey. I would take him out, but I would put Ray Lewis.
I'll tell you the other guy you could take off that list, and I'm not trying to be rude. He was fabulous, but he only did one thing. It's Dion. Dion had no interest against the run, had no interest in tackling anybody. He was a great cover corner. But if we're talking about game wreckers, right, I would argue that what Nick Bosa has already done in his career is every bit as important as what Dion did. Now, from a style, from a marketing, from what he could bring to your franchise, no, Dion was life-altering.
Right.
But
yeah, Ronnie Lott was the original Nick Bolton.
And he lost a finger and still played.
It's like, well, Ronnie, we're going to have to tape this thing up or cut it off. All right, well.
Cut it.
Ronnie, we were joking. I'm not.
So let's hit this real quick. Trent Dilfer was talking about Brady and Rodgers. He was on some.
That's head coach Trent Dilfer.
Yeah, I'm not. Whatever.
UAB Blazers.
Yeah, okay. He's quoted as saying, "The modern day game does not impress me. It's super easy when you don't get hit as a quarterback and when you can't reroute receivers, when you can't hit guys across the middle. I love Tom Brady. I love Aaron Rodgers. I love these guys. It's not impressive." Does he have a point here, or is he just a butthurt quarterback that wants to play in this era?
I'm going to have Rico go first to see if we're on the same page.
I mean, I think it's just weird that this is Trent Dilfer saying this. I mean, I've never seen anybody milk a Super Bowl title the way this man has. I mean, Trent, you had limitations, period. And if you played in this era, you would still have limitations. You would still be in that bottom third. So now he's right. I mean, the game has changed. But, David, it's not like they were holding Trent back when he was playing. Trent was holding Trent back when he was playing.
I would just tell you from the way the game is decided, they don't let defenses play anymore. You can't cover anybody. You can't put your hands on anybody. You can't hit the quarterback. You can't. It's just.
Right. What's more egregious, the pass interference penalty now or the roughing the passer?
Oh, boy. Push?
Because
They're
it
both
used to
horrible.
be like, well, geez, he barely touched. Now you push the quarterback. Nope. He fell over. That's a penalty. That's like.
He fell over.
No, that actually was called. A quarterback just fell over the player and roughing the passer.
Right. I mean,
I do feel like there's an element of this where I'm not overly impressed by a lot because when you can't put your hands on receivers, when you can't separate them from the football because you'll be called for defenseless receiver, targeting, whatever. I get what he's saying, but I'm with Rico on this. No disrespect. He's been a good high school football coach, and he had heavy involvement with the Elite 11. But you're not exactly Tom Brady. I don't know if I want to hear that.
Next, Gary Danielson is going to lecture us on the modern game.
That's a flag
I'm
there.
going to leave that alone. Boy, could I take that places.
Well, we go from a Trent Dilfer to a Hall of Fame Super Bowl winning quarterback who has the same opinion as me.
Aaron Rodgers.
No, Joe Montana.
Oh,
Joe Montana says that Garoppolo won a lot of games before he got hurt. Before was handed to Brock Purdy. Well, I think they should start Jimmy. He won a lot of games. I can't say the same for Trey, right? I don't think it's hard. I think you should start Jimmy. He's saying that the 49ers should bring back Jimmy G. Smart man.
Here's why they can't. Because you gave away all that draft capital for Trey. And Jimmy, it's spite. You would have to admit that you were wrong and that you did all of this stuff when he was already sitting there the entire time. So this is where Lynch wants to seem like, no, I actually know better than you guys, and we got to part with Jimmy G. But, it's a little spite.
I think more executives in pro sports and in life lose their jobs trying to prove they were right versus just doing their job in the first place.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a damn if you were right. Just do the job. Keep it moving forward. The self-preservation and justifying mistakes, it doesn't work. Rico's right. You got to do what's best for this team now. Who gives a damn about what outside noise is?
Right, we gave up too much for Trey Lance, so we got to play him. I'm like, actually, that's in my opinion, that's always compounding one mistake with a second. Just because you pay a man ridiculous money or you gave up draft picks, admit you made a mistake and play somebody else. Like I said, I look at what Seattle did back in the day when Russell was good, and they said, hey, Flynn, you're good, but Russell, we can win with him. He's a rookie. Take your money, sit on the bench, you'll be fine.
And let's close it out real quick. I want to give you the Zoom link for Aaron Rodgers. He's going to speak at the Astroloco Immersion Party.
Excuse
where
me?
You can fall in love with you through the ancient science of astrology. Would you all like that Zoom link? I can send that to you.
See, that's astrology. I like astronomy. I like the stars. Russell's into this holistic boola boola.
Do you realize the minute he read that, the music stopped?
You don't want to discover how to fall in love with you.
No, because I don't even think the computer takes this as real. Therefore, the music stopped. That's a thing.
That is a thing.
Aaron Rodgers on a
during Super Bowl week, that's what he'll be doing.
Honestly, this guy needs a hobby.
Once again, that's the difference.
And
that's
the music disappeared
astrology.
again. Can we please get a backing track that works?
That is in football today.
Thank you.